Welcome to That's So Nova. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back. This is going to be day 2 of Novaween. And if you're new here and you're not familiar with Novaween, I just do 13 days of consecutive sewing, different fun projects that you can do with you, yourself, or your family, or a friend, or teaching a child, as well as I try to do projects that will be very profitable if you do a craft fair or a holiday mart. So let's get started. We're going to be doing Zip It Janet from Sincerely Jen. She was kind enough to say I can do a tutorial. I seen this pattern and I automatically knew that this is going to be one of those patterns that if you are at a farmer's market or you're at a holiday mart would be a really good seller, because you can use a lot of different fabric and not have to put a whole lot of money in it. What I'm saying is that all the pieces that I had here, I used under a fat quarter. So this is going to be a very profitable project to me when it sells. So I have my 2 lining pieces, my 2 exterior pieces, my slip pock piece, my ID window. I wanted something a little bit of contrasting. My 2 zipper tabs. My zipper tabs are cut shorter because I'm using waterproof canvas versus cotton, and our ring for our keychain. And I'm using a keychain that has a bracelet attached. One, because I think this would be a perfect on-the-go gift, and that shows even more like, oh, look, I can just grab this and kind of go. A zipper. And for the zipper, it says to have a 6-inch zipper, but a 6 inches is roughly what, let me double check. 6 inches is roughly what this top of it is. And me personally, when I have tabs, I really like to have my zipper to be about an inch shorter than what the top is. Now, you can do it the way I'm going to be showing you. Either way, it's going to be done the same. I just like to have my zipper ends poke out, especially when I know I have thicker materials that I'm using. I have my zipper pull, and I think that's all we need. Oh, and I have my magnetic snap, so that way I can do the slip pocket. And let's get started. So I've been wanting to do this pattern forever. I've seen it. I've seen it around, but I haven't made it. So this is my first time making it. So let's see if we do this right by it. So the pattern is free. You just need to go download it, purchase it, and download it into your own Sincerely Jen account. All right. So the seam allowance throughout this pattern is going to be a 1/2 inch. And we're going to start putting the zipper tape on. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my zipper. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to look inside and see if I can see the middle bar, and if it's even, if it is, just give it a good push, and it's right there. And I'm going to take my baby torch, there's no nicer way to say this, and just melt those ends. When I do this, I also like to press my fingers so I can really help keep the ends melted. So I'm going to put my tabs on. You could use glue or double-sided tape. I'm just going to sew this on because you can clip it if you wish, but it comes on pretty easy. So we're going to sew across, and that's one. I'm using a 90-14 needle, and I am using a stitch length of 3. Right, and then I'm going to snip this so it's flush with the zipper. Don't snip into your zipper. All right, then we're going to take the interfaced pocket ID window. I'm going to trim some of this off. Not too much. It's possibly more due to shrinkage. We're going to put this on. We're going to measure up. Measure down, I'm sorry. Find the center. I'm just going to use my ruler and I'm going to help guide me to this. The measurements are on page 3 under section 4. And we're going to stitch across, down, and over, leaving the slot open on one side, and back stitch well at the beginning and the end. When you go down, make sure that your needle goes into the needle down position. Push your needle all the way down until you feel it trying to click up. And therefore, when you do this, it will help with no like skip stitches. So it's basically allowing your needle to go to a full complete stitch. We're sewing around about 1/8 of an inch. All right, we have our nice zipper ID. These scissors are garbage, man. They were not sharp. I need to get them sharpened. Let's see. All right, we have that done. Let's hop on over to page 4. We're going to start with our exterior and our interior, our exterior pocket and our interior lining of the pocket. So you're going to need to get the pattern piece, and the pattern piece has a marking of where you need to mark to put your snap. You can put a cam snap. You can put, I'm going to use a magnet because I didn't have any cam snaps that I liked with it in the colorway. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So this is going to have the male portion because this is going to be connecting to the exterior pocket. So I'm going to take my washer. Does anyone else lose their washers? Like I can like literally pull them out and then they just like disappear. And then when I stand up, they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Okay. So we're going to take our washer and we're going to just draw some lines real quick. You can use some Peltex or whatever you have on hand to the back to stabilize it. I'm using waterproof canvas and it's pretty stable. So I'm going to do 2 slits. You could put glue over this if you wish to. Some people like to use like a fabric tack or they're right underneath the boning tool. Fabric tack, or they like to use a fray check. Your choice. And you could put double-sided tape if you wish over this, or leave it alone how it is. We're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to put them right sides together. This is the uninterfacing exterior piece and the lining piece. And you're going to sew using the seam allowance, back stitch in the beginning and end. You could always put cut out the slots ahead of time and just not sew with the magnet in if it's easier for you. I keep reaching for these scissors. I'm going to put them away too. We're going to trim down the seam allowance by 1/4 of an inch. If you hear a little popping and whatever, it's my iron right beside me. I'm going to finger press this. I try not to iron over magnets because it's really fast to demagnetize them, unfortunately. We're going to top stitch this at 1/8 of an inch. Be careful if you have your magnet in. Make sure everything's nice and lined up. All right, we're gonna flip that, and you can press that if you wish as well. If you don't have a magnet, like if you're doing a cam snap too, be careful. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna align this to this pot right here so it can become a pocket. We're gonna add the slip pocket in. I'm sorry, we're gonna add it to, we're gonna add the snap to the back of the exterior main. So we're gonna grab this real quick, the pattern piece, line it up, make a mark. There's also a really cool embroidery that you can get that says fabric money. And I was like, if I show that to Kendall, he'll be like, oh, you mean the money we spend already? And I'll be like, yeah, the fabric monies. Okay, I'm using some really nice, strong, it's DHL 2010 heavy from Catherine, from Sew Your Box. She has really nice stabilizer that's heavy, and I'm using that for this. I usually know if I'm going to be using like a magnet or something strong, I want it to be in place without worrying about it. So let me baste this together, and we're going to start putting this nice little wallet together. I'm going to baste this together real quick so it becomes one unit. All right. So we have it all done. We have this, and our two lining pieces now. We're going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to take our interfacing piece and we're going to fold it in on itself. And you can use an iron if this helps. Sometimes I do. I'll fold it over and I'll just take my iron. This is waterproof canvas too. And you just have to make sure you're folding, like ironing on the actual woven piece, not the plastic. And we're going to fold it in on itself. That's a lot of steam. Well, I mean, I guess I could say I got a mini facial right now. I don't know. My sinuses are cleared. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of heat on both sides. And then I'm going to stitch down both sides at 1/8 of an inch. See here, it's like it hisses all the time. Like, even when I'm like dry, doing it all dry, it still kind of hisses. I'm like, okay, as it hiss at me right now. Comedic gold, man, and I'm not even making it do it. Okay, so I'm gonna put the iron back onto the board so it's not on this table. All right. So I like to find my centers, and what I like to do is take my clip and I'll draw a little mark on the, I'm sorry, like now the bubble wrap that I just opened up a box is like slowly, like opening, and it was like compressed. So yeah. So we're going to take this, we're going to wrap our ring around it, and I'm going to, on the side, on the part that has this opening, we're going to place this right underneath it, and we're going to baste it on. and you're going to base it on about one-fourth of an inch. And the exact placement of where you need to place it is on page 5, step 5 is the measurements. I'm just going to go back and forth because I'm not using any vinyl. So all it does is it's going to make that seam stronger. And because I'm using waterproof canvas, I decided to open up instead of stacking it on each other, open it up a little bit more. It will help with like distributing the bulk. All right, so we are going to now find our centers, and I'm just going to do a small little clip. It's no more than about a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. I usually like it at 1/8 of an inch, but sometimes my cutting is off. All right. We are going to sew these on using a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And it depends how you want your zipper to close, of where you think is the front or the back is the back. So there's like no real wrong or right answer to this. I'm going to just have it right now where the zipper is going towards the right when it closed over here. I'm matching up the marks. And I'm going to sew this first part on. And have a zipper foot oops, sorry, that was like a little fast. Have a zipper foot, and then when you get to the zipper pull, just move it out of the way. It won't give you that bubble look if you just take the time and just move it out of the way. All right. And then I'm going to grab a lining piece. And again, we're going to sew it at 1/4 of an inch, back stitch. And when you get to the zipper, just move it out of the way. All right. So you could take it to your iron and you can press this down. Make sure you don't press on where the, don't press on this side because that's where all the plastic is. Do it from the lining side so that it doesn't get all melty. And I'm going to push my... I'm going to sew. I like to sew from tab to tab. I don't go past it. So I'm going to back stitch and then go across and back stitch. Now, as I'm sewing this, I'm going to use my finger pad bed, my nail bed, or the pads of your fingers, and kind of pull this, the zipper from just kind of sinking into itself. So that way I can have a nice crisp pocket, zipper pocket. You can increase your stitch length if you wish here too. Okay. Trimming those. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to place this zipper tape and match the centers. And that's place this together. It's almost getting done. We're there. Needle down, move the zipper. All right. Okay, we're going to make it, we got this. I know we have a lot of components, like me adding that is extra things to move out of the way, but you got this. And we're going to move this zipper. There's a lot of layers, but we got it. Move the zipper again. Okay. We got this. Push it all the way down, and we're going to top stitch from zipper tab to zipper tab. Okay. Okay. And move the zipper if it's in the way. All right. That's super cute so far. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to leave our zipper open. And we're going to put some clips. I'm going to trim down this. We're going to put right size exterior to right side exterior. So I'm going to push this in here and make sure everything lines up. And then I'm going to put a clip. Same thing. Put clips all the way around. Clips for everyone. That would be cool though. I'm not going to lie. I would sign up for that. I'd be like, yes, I got more clips. Because they just like disappear out here out of nowhere. And it's very frustrating. All right. Then we're going to leave an opening. So you're going to want to leave an opening like right at the bottom. And it could be about 3 inches and you should be good to go. We're going to sew all the way around, back stitching extremely well at the beginning and the end of before our turns. And I'll show you, like I would leave just like I would go in and where your centers are, just make a 3-inch mark. And you'll start and stop there. So let's start at the closest line to us. And remember the seam allowance. And when you get over to this area that has that little bit of hump, a hump jumper or anything that could help align the foot in the back so that it's even and flush will help tremendously. So a pack of needles could help. So then we're going to trim, and where we drew that line at, I'm going to just kind of make some like a deep V going into it. And then I'll trim all the way around. Hold on. There is an area that I need to fix. right. Sometimes, like, if I see like an area that the stitches were too close, or it's going to make it have it nice, make it all like wrinkly and whatnot, I'll go back and remove a stitch. So with my iron, I'm going to do, this is a wood board. I like ironing on them. They help, like a clapper in reverse. So the areas that that opening we have, I like to go back and press on the opening open. So that way when I'm getting ready to close it, it naturally wants to form to where that press is. That, not ironing, but that deep press. I'm going to use some, I know that's going to be, you're going to be like, what? I'm going to use some like starch, because I really want these two pieces to like fold in on itself. And when I mean press, it's not ironing where you're like hovering over and doing seconds at a time. I am in one localized area, and this is the reason why I love cotton and canvas so much. And I am pressing this so that this fabric retains memory of what it's supposed to be like, how it's supposed to sit. And you'll see when we turn this what I mean. Especially if you have trouble closing up pockets or whatever, because you feel like it's not even and flush, this might be a good trick for you. I'm going to trim, and I'm just going to take a little bit of bulk out of the middle without going into the stitches. And then we're going to take the pocket, and I like to take my finger and try to get to the bottom of the bag, because I want to turn it as quickly as I can while it's still warm to prevent any wrinkles. And we had a lot in here, so give yourself some grace. There's not a time. No one's perfect. Okay, and see how it's already trying to close up? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck this in, and I'm going to use my fingers and just kind of press those corners out. This is so cute. I'm going to get these strings, these little threads. Just give this a nice little tug. I'm not putting my scissors in. I'm going into the loop and trying to give it a nice tug before I close up the pocket. So I'm going to bring the pocket, and as you can see where we iron, I'm going to just poke out these curves a little bit. It wants to automatically close in. See that? That helps tremendously when you're trying to close. Less things for you to have to worry about. Oops. Well, I was moving a little too fast and they hold the threads. I was reading all the words on my Salmon Dean fabric from Supernatural and easily got distracted. Rightfully so, though. That show is amazing and the guys are phenomenal actors. In case you're wondering, I'm Team Dean. Dean Winchester is like awesome. All right, so hold the threads and we're going to close this up using a 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. Make sure those lines go together. And we're going to trim those threads. And we're going to poke the pocket back in. And that's it. You can give this a nice little press. on the side that doesn't have the clear pocket, or you'll be sad and I'll be sad for you too. And that is it. We're done making this little cutie. So like the way you can get these, I got these actually from, they were in a package from Glitterbug Fairy, and she had them for sale. So they're key rings with like a nice like clear scrunchie thing, but it's one of those kitty bracelets that sometimes you can see at Target or Walmart, and you could just put them on a key ring. You have a nice slip pocket. You have an area for your ID. You have a nice zipper pocket for your monies and whatnot. And then you have the benefit of where you can, close to the left, where you can say this is the front, or you can say this is the front, and you're ready to go. So I hope I was able to help you do this really fun and fast project. Very cool scrap buster. I mean, it's sincerely Jen, so I always expect amazement from her, and I always get it. This is called the Zippered Janice Zippered ID Case. I keep thinking Janet because I had some Rocky Horror Show fabric I was going to use for this, but then I kept thinking I was going to mess up with Janet and Janice, and I did without even using it. So, if you have any questions in reference to this video, please leave a comment down below. I feel like I'm really receptive, and I'll get right back to you. And if you want to see any other Sincerely Jen patterns from me making a tutorial, please comment down below, and I'll definitely reach out to see if a Jenny will allow me to. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and has a really good Spooktober. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.